Antes desse vídeo começar, eu gostaria de agradecer a todo mundo que está me dando suporte no Patreon. Muito obrigado e bora pro vídeo! Fala pessoal, tudo beleza? Aqui é o Dragão Mascarado trazendo mais vídeo hoje. Gente, continua, a gente parou em... Nossa, cara, isso aqui é um Not For Broadcast. O que aconteceu? Ah! Caramba. Pera aí. Conferir a energia.
Stay where you are, Kath. Jenny?
This is not Jenny's decision.
Nossa, o que
Jeremy,
aconteceu
or
aqui?
yours.
It'll be all right. I'll talk to Bugs.
Oh, good. You can tell
Ah,
me how
queimou
to
aqui.
casserole dish at our dinner next week. Jenny?
Nossa, mano, queimou o negócio aqui.
Letting it go to your
Ah.
head.
She nearly blinded
10
me.
seconds,
That's all
everybody.
part of a team these days.
Pronto.
Things are better, Jeremy, you know that. Just stop being so
Going in
high and mighty
5,
and do your job.
You'll
4,
have me fired too.
3.
Don't tempt me. Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines
Ah,
tonight.
é, teve aquele
The
negócio
establishment
de
strikes
choque, pelo
back.
que me lembro.
The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas, food,
Aqui.
clothing, and even some medicines.
Ah, vou
But
deixar
how should
feliz.
we react? We asked the public.
So how do you feel about the sanctions?
I actually think that with advance in charge we'll be fine. Of course the rest of the world will want us to fail or it will be their billionaires next. But I trust Julia and Peter.
Thanks, Patrick. Important stuff.
Tá, isso foi diferente.
Controversial Prime Minister Julia Salisbury attempted to assuage growing public concerns with the following official statement released earlier today.
The international sanctions declared against this country today by the World Council remind us that now more than ever
Tá, eu tô com a sensação que alguma coisa tá bem errada.
team. Since coming to power, we have eradicated poverty and as a consequence seen crime fall to levels previously thought impossible. Our schools,
Mano, olha,
hospitals and
quebrou
youth
aqui
clubs are thriving and our transition
botão
centers have
também.
enabled
Puta
many
que pariu.
thousands to unburden their loved ones with dignity. In any sane world, we would be held up as a model to emulate. Evidently, this is not that world. The privileged few have lobbied, and now they are striking back. But we will not cower before their tantrums. And we encourage other progressive nations of the world to continue to trade, visit, and share their cultures with ours. Do not be afraid. We have more friends than we can count. We are a team, now more than ever. And this team is on your side. Thank you.
Reassuring stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our refreshingly different government? Robin Short found out.
Aqui.
I was wondering if you could tell me what you think of the government.
What? That shower of iridescent pricks?
Uia.
Punishing success and rewarding laziness? They're taking this country down the bloody Swanee. And it's not just me that thinks so. My wife Iris, she agrees.
A whole lot of problems. Protests were held today at the controversial construction site for Remington Smith's physics-defying MOOBS project. Since digging straight through
desafio a
the
lei da
earth began
gravidade,
6
da
months ago,
física.
the project has been beset by problems, including localized tremors and the heat deaths of many of the workforce.
Residents of the nearby town of Calamity today converged on the construction
Hoje
site
novo com as
with
pessoas
some
bravas.
if misspelled placards, demanding a suspension of digging until safety checks can be carried out.
Of course, that's half a world away. But what does this country think? Patrick.
What's your opinion of the MOOBS project?
It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. What's to stop it, right? Dropping out the other end and just falling forever.
Gravity?
No, it don't exist.
Ei, já vai começar com a história no planeta.
A momentary lapse of reason, commuters across the capital found themselves somewhat bemused
Parece
by the
BR
latest
ali.
done by controversial
Deve
protest
ser bug na
groups.
legenda.
In a baffling start to the day, commuters found performers outside every major station, all dressed
Ah, eu vou
and
deixar
posed
feliz.
identically. Whether we're supposed to be amused
Dessa vez eu
or
vou deixar feliz.
intimidated is anybody's guess, Jeremy. But most commuters didn't even stop to notice.
Well, as long as it's not some grand contemporary dance, it's probably harmless.
But how do we all feel about Disrupt and their eclectic tactics? Robin found out.
How do you feel about Disrupt?
Ah, well, now you're talking. Ruddy hero, showing us not to take it lying down like
Nossa, de novo
Iris here.
essa pessoa
So you both
rungada.
feel they're a cause worth supporting?
Well, Iris doesn't speak online, but we're pretty sure there's still one in there, aren't we, love? Wherever it is, it loves Disrupt, fighting the oiks for our freedom. And what could possibly be wrong with that?
Do you need me to get you some help?
Nossa, nem deixou eu falar.
Scientist Dr. David Wong and Dr. Ingrid Svorsborg and Hawkinsford today sent a blueprint of the escape craft in which they hope to finally leave Dante's taint.
With expert opinions of the plan running the gamut
Tá,
from
de novo
optimistically
feliz.
engineered to that looks like something my granddad made in his shed. It
Tá,
sounds
tem
like
nada
the
aqui, não tem
unfortunate
mais
team
os
are going to need
bichinhos.
all the thoughts and prayers they can get.
So what should we think about the escape plan? Patrick Bannon again.
Peraí.
So I'd imagine that you think this is a great plan.
Oh my god! How did you know? It's a brilliant
Peraí.
idea! I hope everyone gets behind them so that they know that we're with them. In spirit, of course.
Ah, vai, vou com isso
I
mesmo.
can't actually go diving because I'm scared of the salt.
I am not a number. Applications finally opened today for the new Advanced Team membership cards, a scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new public services being introduced daily.
The team membership cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification
Deixa eu ver o que eles vão
by
falar
all
primeiro.
major organisations, including the police, banks and, rightfully,
Vou deixar neutro.
And of course, there's no charge, Jeremy.
it all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about the new team membership cards?
Team membership cards.
I don't really join things as a rule. As Mother always said, membership is mostly for unmentionables, Malcolm.
And finally tonight, getting stuck in a shameless attempt to cash in on his bad boy status, shamed celebrity Johnny Hamsleeves announced a new line of real ale at a press conference earlier today.
The new brew, entitled Headbutt Ale in reference to his controversies of last year, promises a night you'll pretend you regret.
Or possibly a night you'll pretend you
Tá,
remember.
dessa vez eu vou deixar
So
brava.
what should we all think of Johnny's latest attempt to market his notoriety? Patrick?
Disgusting.
Your thoughts there?
Later tonight, in a break from our usual responsibilities, Jeremy will be taking popular rapper Jesus to task over his street credibility. And then we'll both be meeting the team behind the new play that's got theatre critics buzzing with anticipation.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
Boa. Nossa, me lembro que aqui o comercial tinha aqueles bichinhos aparecendo. Mano, tá tudo... Olha o telefone destruído. Quebrou aqui.
First tonight, let's return to our main story.
With the shine coming off Advance's popularity,
And the honeymoon period pretty much over.
the National Nightly News has spared no expense in bringing you the response to today's sanctions from across the continent.
Joining us to help digest this shocking development are Prime Minister Peter Clement from his home in Lamfordshire.
Good evening, Jeremy.
And from Urkistan Foreign Minister Ivan Vodovich.
It's a great pleasure. Miss Wolf, you like...
And from Svenland, Minister of Mojo, Björn.
Hey everybody!
Minister Vodovich, your country pushed especially hard for these sanctions. Any regrets?
My only regret is I was not able to see the face of my old friend Peter Clements when the results of the vote were announced. As you say, he has one up in your bottoms.
In Svenland, we try not to gloat actually, because it's seen as really ugly and dangerous to some small creatures, yeah?
Oh, don't worry, Minister. Ivan and I go way back. He's a wind-up merchant who can't put for shite.
Pete,
He's just trying to get a rise out of me.
You're like a man who load dissidents onto train to labor camp, not because of love of country, but to make up for size of his tiny penis.
I'm the vodka, Ivan.
No more than you. I see you on election night with mouth like man thinks he's singing beautiful lullaby. But actually, he's squealing like a pig in hands of Randy Big Dick Palmer. Eh?
Meu Deus.
Actually, we Svenlandians, we aren't size obsessed. We value passion, yeah? Like the way we spoke up for Mr. Clement's country at the World Council.
That's all well and good. And
Aquele outro que tava bêbado nos vídeos anterior.
then are fingering each other's fjords.
Actually, that's kind of racist. And if you must know, I've had like a really tiring afternoon and my tongue is very sore.
Meu Deus.
Prime Minister, with Advance's popularity on the wane...
You don't have to bring that up at every given opportunity, you know.
Peter, he's like man who think he's sniffing flowers in beautiful glade. But he's actually standing under outflow pipe from shit factory at shit flushing time. On day of village festival of shit. I told him this at 19th hole.
Minister Vodovich believes that left to their own devices, people will behave selfishly.
It's nature of all beasts.
However, in this country, we think our citizens are capable of being more than beasts.
Pathetic idealism.
Minister Björk, Svenland has long had radically different traditions and culture from the rest of the world, and yet it peacefully coexists. Why do you think that is?
Well, you know, I think maybe the world sees us as something they can actually spiritually be enlightened to, yeah?
Yeah, or maybe it's the orgy houses.
Sometimes, when foreign dignitaries come to visit us, they're actually quite skeptical, actually. So we take them
Nossa, eu tive que saber qual desses dois tá falando, parece que eles têm a voz igual.
And show them what like a progressive enlightened society looks like, yeah?
Shit of bull. Svenland is like woman who thinks she makes best cake in village hot baking
Ah, tem a luzinha verde.
And then when she slices it open, it just
Nossa, agora percebi.
piss and cum.
That's just really gross, actually.
Svenland is a teeny tiny country. With population smaller than number of people, Peter Clements is sex with his teeny tiny penis.
It's not all about size, actually.
Yes, that's what Peter Clements always claimed.
I'm talking about population size.
And I'm talking about Peter Clements' teeny tiny...
Oh, fuck off, Ivan!
Oh, Prime Minister, please.
It's so easy to sit on your pile of money and gloat, isn't it, pal? You're a shite leader. A fucking god-awful golfer, and quite frankly, as my old man used to say, you're a bit of a cunt.
Prime Minister, please.
It's you who is cunt.
Minister Vodovich, please.
Your people are fucking starving, pal.
We will see how well fed your people are when the sanctions start to bite. You think you're man like big, scary wolf person terrorizing village, when actually a pathetic goose person searching puddle for tiny dropped-off penis.
Why are you so
Meu
obsessed
Deus.
about small cocks, mate?
In Svenland, we believe like the size of your penis isn't as important as the love it contains, yeah?
Oh, fuck off, yeah.
Okay, if everybody could just calm down.
You're so smug on golf course. They're like man who fuck pig and somehow give her birth to beautiful lady girl. But now you start to see, yes? The people never happy. It's never enough.
It's certainly true that Advance's popularity
It's on the fucking wane. Yeah, let's go with this bollocks again. Shall we? Actually, you know what? Nah, fuck this. I'm done with this.
Prime Minister, please don't storm out.
No. I have had enough of you, Mr. Jeremy Donaldson, and your snide asides. You think you could make a better job of things, do ya? Because it's not that fucking easy, let me tell ya. Your channel is a fucking disgrace. You insinuate and edit against us and pick your headlines so people don't trust us. The sooner you roaring monsters are taken into public ownership, the happier everyone in this country will be.
Well, we've not got long until the adverts, so...
Coloquei mais do outro
I'm
feliz.
sorry for the outburst, Miss Wolf. Julia thinks very highly of you, and I know you're not the one making the editorial decisions.
Do any of you have anything you wish to add about the sanctions?
My work here is done. I like man who happy he lie down with fatty, drunk, easy girl from village inn, who discover in morning he wake up next to beautiful news reporter lady.
You know, I think it would be a terrible shame, yeah, if the people of your country were to suffer because of teenage grudges and personal rivalries, yeah.
Thank you. Prime Minister?
This country, this wonderful, civilized,
Mano, o que tá acontecendo aqui?
creative, inventive country. We're not scared of these sanctions. There's no wolves at our door, only the best of people striving to help out. So no, Ivan, we're not afraid. In fact, I doubt we'll lose a wink of sleep.
Queria colocar a reação dos outros.
And we're well resourced. And we don't back down to bullies.
And on that note, we have to wrap up.
Ministers, Prime Minister, thank you for joining us.
We'll be back after these messages.
Pronto.
1 minute back.
Peter, it's so easy. So many buttons to push.
Piss off.
Will I see you at Graham's this weekend?
No, I've got meetings.
Não sou nem
Some
maluco.
tosses impose sanctions on the country.
Well, shit.
I mean, wow.
So,
Mano, eles estão fingindo?
roaring monsters.
Public ownership.
You two are like a couple who think you are
Ah,
king
tá
and
tremendo.
queen of village when actually you are just
Eita.
string of evil shitty hand puppets.
New government censorship should show up in blue. Same as regular censoring. Keep an eye out for the advanced blue.
Ficar de olho na onda azul. Ó, consegui a mais.
Are you still meant to bow? Foreign royalty.
What?
O que é isso?
Like curtsy.
Hang on. Have they given you the Crown Prince report?
Well,
Meghan?
Sport
This is
ball.
Jeremy, and he'll be interviewing you.
Yo, thanks for having me on your show, man.
It's quite alright.
Yo, just a quick one. You're not gonna ask me.
Agora não sei em qual câmera eu vou colocar.
So you put that get up on himself. I'm just saying.
Going in 5, 4,
Eu acho que é ela.
3.
welcome back. I'm Megan Wolf. Later, we have an exclusive first look at a theatrical sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy.
Thanks, Megan. I have the honour and privilege of being joined by hip-hop royalty. He's been called the son of the streets and the father of truth.
Ai, mostrando
Not
demais.
sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome Jesus.
Hi, thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, it's a real honor to be here on your show, The News. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
You've had quite the journey to be here today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to,
Nossa,
well, you know, the
Jesus.
past is the past, and I don't like to dwell on it.
I understand. You
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, my mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born. Elderly lady took pity on me. You know, she let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died, like, died tragically. Right there in my arms, man.
Meu Deus.
You know, I remember a tear falling as she lay there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets. I was just 18 months old.
What a tale. What a tale.
Verdade.
You're known for your direct and honest lyrics. Was your style informed by your troubled past?
Oh, like I said, I try not to talk about it. It's just, it's just too hard.
Of course.
But my first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't starve. A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Slice. Anyway, we were like a family.
So it would seem.
Eita.
Recently, you've been quite outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government. Fuck Advance. Fuck Peter Clement.
What is it that you object to so vehemently?
Well, you know, they stole from us. They're taking our money and spending it, man.
Redistributing it. Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Yeah, nah, of course, man. Very much so. I just mean, like, why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't
Nossa, tá
have been you,
difícil
could it?
escolher aqui.
Look, yeah, I worked hard to be here. I built this from nothing, and I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Would you say you worked harder than, say, a farmer or a care worker?
I don't know. But if people are taking something from my music, choose to value it, buy it, who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children, Mr. Cheese Slice.
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Well, it's more of
Or
like...
maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. I let the music speak for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen. But you have given me a very easy segue out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Ludlow's Tears.
Oh no, I'm gonna do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
Yeah, you love it.
Excellent. Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship system. What's the worst that could happen? So here he is with a new song. Aren't we lucky? It's Jesus!
First, you're gonna pay up. You're gonna pay back.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel elation from your participation. Still two leaders in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julius require a massive fucking mansion? So fuck all your schemes. I don't need your freaky team, and I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams. So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive, but why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention. I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise of the crest of the wave, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. It's time to spawn a castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. So this is for the snub ones, the push and the shove ones, the folks who feel the burden of their motherfucking loved ones. Ones who had plenty like a motherfucking Bentley. The ones who now finding that their bank accounts are empty. The ones of aspiration who had to flee a nation. The ones who built a business out of dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil.
Mano, eu não sei, ó, eu não sei fazer.
We're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the brave serve the crest of the waves, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to spawn a castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets, set a fire in the building, let them feel some fucking heat. Say you hate to go getters, you're squilling bed letters, and burn them on the powers of advances fucking letters.
Nossa, mano, muita
Gonna
coisa.
take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to spawn a castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Chase that dream, you don't need a fucking team, and advances little dances aren't as harmless as it seems, cause they're stale and corrupt. Then you're angry, corrupt, then your hearts and your minds and your fists to destruct.
Eu não faço a menor ideia do que eu acabei de fazer, só que sou muito ruim nessa coisa de aumentar a popularidade.
Jesus there with his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I'm sorry. I may not agree with you, but I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs, and an attempt was made to censor some of your lyrics.
What? Are you joking?
I'd just like to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral unbiased, and independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Well, a bit of dangerous language there, sorry about that. Well, thank you to little Jeremy Donaldson for providing our culture spot. Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away.
Just a reminder, fixing that old VCR. With a new tape, fast ad break.
If you could just come with me.
No, this is ridiculous. Who do I
Meu Deus, eu passei a propaganda.
This is just a mix-up, I'm sure. Now, if you come with me, I really do have to ask
Oh,
you to
trust me.
leave.
My father's going to hear about this.
I understand. This is unbelievable, Megan.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Esse aqui. Ah, não tá mais. Mano, eu passei a propaganda muito antes do... deles ter acabado. Meu Deus. Pera, o quê?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, shut up it.
Look at him.
If we could just get you in position.
Oh, say no more. Say no more.
Megan, Jeremy.
Pera, eu conheço essa voz.
Mr. Algebra.
Vividly.
And Mr. Harris. And this is Ms. Raiden.
What?
Philippa, please.
You're back together again, eh? Who'd have thought it?
Perhaps a lower order demon.
Yes, it is awfully
Esse jogo tá...
exciting, isn't it?
Right, okay
Nem sei o que falar.
We're going live in 10 seconds. Opening on camera 1.
Ah, câmera 1.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back, and no, you're not mistaken. Sitting across from us are
Nossa,
some
a cara
very
dele.
familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by National Treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Raiden, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to have you all. Tommy, would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life.
And where did the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs are akimbo, mid-session, sweat is pouring out of me like an immense hog. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to training sometimes. He's actually a pretty good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, yeah, Pete, he says, Toby, can you...
Meu Deus, tô com a sensação que uma coisa muito ruim vai acontecer.
To spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation. How would you like to really make a difference in these desperate times?
What did you say?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Esse não é aquele da...
So, Jeff, the question on everyone's lips is, what in God's name are you doing here?
Well, after the success of my debut work and all the people that I've touched, I knew that I had a career in theatre. Yeah? I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said that I'd been offered the gig as director, I was ecstatic. I whipped my trousers off and got straight to work.
Why did you do that?
I do all my best work with my trousers off.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Right, Tommy, sorry, would you just give us a sense of what the show is actually about?
It's about how hard it's been for me and some of the struggles that I've faced. It like really getting to the heart of how tough it is to be me. I call it Tommy Harris. Jesus, that was hard.
Catchy. We actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life as well as fantasy
a câmera 2 mudou do nada.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Meu Deus.
I'm sorry, son. You're an embarrassment.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Back, demon! Back to the hells!
Oxi.
Philippa, what's it been like co-starring with Tommy Harris?
I've always dreamed of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan. And for once, this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show, then? Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced to play the same tired characters in every god-awful yogurt advert or godforsaken soap opera or, God forbid, a pantomime. But, you know, this show has really let me just go there.
Jeff, the viewers at home will be dying to know exactly what is it that you bring to the show?
Oh, good question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my steady hand on the tiller, my arm around the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable. He was our rock.
Can you give us a sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show?
Yeah, all sorts, yeah.
Meu Deus, eu acho que eu posso fazer nada.
Exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
You'll never take the sacred path!
And am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know, to be
Esqueci
honest,
mudar.
is actually a lifesaver, really.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that without Advance's support, we'd have had to cut the finale.
Which frankly would have been a travesty.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ!
Meu Deus!
Goodness, you do this every night?
Absolutely. It's a metaphor.
For what?
Yes?
And the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaning of my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit here.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
Yes, it's unbelievable.
Well, thank you all so much for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt you'll have taken our jobs.
That's all we have time for tonight. Join us tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. And from all of us here.
3, 2, 1.
That's the ads. Let's get reset for tomorrow, please.
Hey, we must stop bumping into each other like this, eh?
Multi-billionaire Sophia Remington. You could be me.
Oh.
Recently, I put an idea to my science guys, and they said it couldn't be done. So I fired those guys, and I got myself some new ones. And today, I'm pleased to announce that we, at Remington's Fist, have come up with a solution to a problem.
Transmissão concluída. Frequência a mais. Nova transmissão a mais. Olha, ainda não quebrou. Ixi. Deixa eu ver, vídeo aula. Desculpa, gente, mensagem no WhatsApp. Transmissão. Vou continuar. Uou. Dia 242. Uma carreira promissora. É uma preguiçosa tarde de domingo no verão. Vocês sem aproveitam o máximo na dispensa antes de sair com 2 no futebol. Vocês se lembram por um instante do quarto da mãe, quarto da casa, por isso cada garfada lentamente sobreada, sinal de mordido sobre o som da porta, entrada batendo, deve sortear e voltando determinados. Você ouve praticamente correndo para encontrá-los, e quando ele chega, estações de orelha a orelha, não vai entender para contar, você se senta lado a lado atentamente, segura a respiração. Estão prontos? Charles pergunta. Vocês confirmam? Com um movimento de mágica, ele puxa um crachá de bolsa, pelo menos vocês, enquanto você. A partir de hoje, somente da incidência de cadetes de coisando. É bastante trabalho, vou perder alguns finais de semana, mas é muito legal. Você é parabéns, Charlie, enquanto você mal consegue disfarçar a desconfiança. Você fica uma... Esse aqui. Deve ter alguma coisa errada. Dia 278. Um sinal do que há por vir. Vixe. Fazer a compra gera uma tarefa enfadonha das sanções, mas agora se torna verdadeiro em Marte. Você consegue fazer tudo que precisa família essa noite, vai inteirar. Se ele for tomar memória, é uma fila de estacionamento, mas você não entende o motivo da escuridão. Quando a sua frente se afasta, você percebe que na verdade a fila é causada por um posto de controle montado na saída. Vestido um uniforme de avanço que eficácio, estampado em várias partes, um homem de aparência legal está aparecendo no seu carro, bate na janela. Você abre. Boa noite, não há motivo para preocupação, só quero ver o seu cartão de inscrição da equipe, por gentileza. Esses cartões não eram opcionais? Desculpe, eu não tenho um. Ah, não tem problema, tem os formulários aqui, iremos escrever com o maior prazer. O homem acena para o colega atrás dele, um jovem usando o mesmo uniforme. Trabalho com a papelada, agora eu vou para ela. Bom, já que está aqui, vamos escrever. Vamos escrever. Ele chama uma colega que se aproxima novamente, ela tem informações pessoais, família, processos mais complexos esperável, quantidade de detalhes, mesmo assim tudo acaba um minuto depois, qual começa, por parte da discussão. Bem, com isso, você não precisa parar na fila na próxima vez. Sociais, obrigado, você tem que conferir na loteria. Agora, esses cartões são obrigatórios? Dia 290. Caraca, já faz quase um ano. Um convite que vale a pena ignorar. É sábado, seus poucos de folga, você aproveitou o máximo que pôde, mas conforme o dia da tarde chega, o convite particular encara como professora. A festa de gala de Chanel One é um evento de trabalho obrigatório. Dispus, mas sim, pestanejar, você já pulou um fim de semana no trabalho, dessa vez não dá, é melhor ir. Eu vou ir. É melhor você começar a se preparar, você se pergunta pode dar uma carona, afinal um drink eu dou para ajudar. Você torce para não planejar, vendo você é bom que faz, né? Sim. Uma noite com as notícias do país. Nossa! Você é quase na hora, nos hotéis mais antigos e grandiosos da capital. Você surpreende com a fila para entrar, mas logo percebe que os convidados estão sendo revistados na entrada por pessoas muito parecidas com militares, vestidos diferenciados. Enquanto espera, você contempla a coisa do prédio. Você é revistado e é livre, liberado para entrar. Dentro do prédio, você é direcionado para a grande sala do baile. Você fica impressionado com o tamanho do lugar enquanto se orienta pelas placas e com a quantidade de seguranças armados. Assim que você chega ao seu destino, uma mulher de aparência muito severa pressiona na entrada. Eu sou Alex Winston. Ela passou na lista e sussurrou algo para o garçom lado. Você chegou bem a tempo de sentar ao jantar, por favor, siga o Manuel até a mesa. Emanuel. O garçom sorri para você, abre uma das grandes portas duplas de comida para entrar. Você entende imediatamente porque chama aquilo de grande salão de baile. Você para por um segundo para absorver o turno. Você sente um leve toque no braço, Manuel pede que você o siga. Ele acomoda uma mesa central, você leva um desinforme que fica muito entusiasmado, uma noite cheia de prêmios e discursos. Pelo menos a comida deve ser boa. Caraca, feito 3D? O comentário é realmente bom, com a ajuda do vinho, obviamente, cara, a conversa flui facilmente. Na verdade, com a surpresa, você recebe o prêmio e a realização da família Channel One. Por essa eu não esperava. Também vai ser esse prêmio, você é o apresentador. O apresentador é o Dr. Aiden, ativista. Antes de saudar a presença, ele agradece a Banco pelo patrocínio este ano. Quando está no palco, você vê a mesa mais próxima sentar ocupada do primeiro-ministro Guzman, mega jogo figurante que você não conhece. Explicou de segurança. Ao pegar seu prêmio, pergunta se você quer dizer mais palavras. Um pouco nervoso, você gagueja. Isso daí. Você agradece a resposta. No trajeto de volta da sua cadeira, você vê Billy, um verso de aprovação e um rosto vermelhado. Aquele claramente foi o discurso certo. Quase no fim do seu jantar, uma pessoa da mesa aponta para trás de você se vira e vê o que estão passando rapidamente. Com Júlio e Peter Clem. Você tem certeza que ele está ignorando o propósito. Antes ele deve estar apresentando o primeiro-ministro de alguns cuidados, antes eles que você. Você termina o resto da refeição, assiste aos últimos discursos e finalmente vai para casa. No geral, foi uma noite bem agradável. Você mal pode esperar pela próxima. Contando com o convite, é claro. A onda de calor. Ixi. Eita. Então, gente, nós cortei o outro enquanto ele fala no telefone. Já aconteceu bastante coisa pro vídeo hoje. Espero que tenham curtido. Não esqueça de deixar o like, se inscrever no canal e compartilhar esse vídeo para que mais pessoas possam ver. Falou!